It's not the grand gestures that win the hearts. It's the groceries, it's the check ins, it's the quiet repeats, it's the quality time you spend with your kids and your wife. Hi, my name is Jesse, and this is the Valiant Lifestyle. And what I strive to do for men is to give them the support, the love, and the ammo that is needed to weaponize your relationship with your family. This episode is dedicated to the trust is built in the boring. 3 ways to become a rock in your blended family. So let's get right after this. Show up when it's unnoticed. Show up when it's unnoticed. I want you to consistently be there. Trust grows where the drama doesn't. And what that means is in moments where you feel like they're just dull and boring, that's where you inject you. That's where you come across and do your thing, because those are the moments your kids are going to remember. They're going to say that dad, or in my case, J Daddy, was there and this is what he did. And we had a boring weekend until he did this, until he was throwing us up in the air, until he was watching things with us, until he was playing games with us, board games, until he was whatever it is. See, when you inject you in a way that is quality time, even with your wife, and I mean those sometimes those moments you got to be even more integral. But when you do that, those boring moments become ways of fortitude for your kids and your family, because what they serve as is wonderful memories that your kids will anchor into when they get older. And even when they're younger, they'll say, this is what my dad did. This is what my bonus dad did. You're not a stepdad. You're not to be stepped upon. Keep your word when it's small. Little promises are foundational aspects of respect. Okay? This is so important. Your kids keep track of this stuff. And the more that you don't do it, the more that it erodes that relationship you have with them, because it affects not only your integrity, but your credibility. See, back in December of last year, I was working a lot, and I was working a lot in the behind closed doors on myself. And what I learned throughout that, even though it was a great part of my learning and growth, is that it had an effect on my girls too. Because when I said that I would show up and I would come home, I would take longer. And when I even took time to explain what I was doing, it was like they thought that I was missing time with them. And I know that some of you out there might think, well, you know what? Why are you telling us this story? And why do you talk about integrity and credibility when you were doing it on your own? I had to figure this out. I had to figure this out. I had to figure out the time management piece, because until December, I really didn't know what that meant. I didn't know that it meant, okay, I've got to coordinate my time and I've got to be productive. And it doesn't, and busy doesn't mean that you're productive. It could mean that you're just going through motions of things, and you've got these hordes of things that you're doing, but you're not really being productive because you really aren't getting the results that you want. You're really not getting into it. And that's what I found, that I was doing a lot more of the busy stuff, but I wasn't really getting at the productive stuff. Show the results. Be there. Be predictable in the best way. Be predictable in the best way. When they know that version of what you are is walking through the door, they feel safe, because your integrity shows up with that. You show up present. You show up in what you said you were going to do. You show up as honest. You show up as fair. You show up as, in my case, I show up as J Daddy. I show up as Daddy. I show up as okay, he really said that he was coming home. Now we can have fun. Or now we can really feel that we can be this family. See, within a blended family, there's so many little nuances and so many little opportunities for me to connect with my kids in ways where we've all had some sort of abandonment issue due to our own life. And when I come back into the picture after a long day, when I come back into the house, what I do is I strive to lead by example. And that means, how was your day? What was the high of your day? What was the low of your day? And we even give a blessing to the food. We're not religious people that go to church, but we are spiritual and we do believe in God. And we do have, ways of looking at that as well. Creator, consciousness, a voice, and that's okay. What I'm saying is, when I come back in to this house, the energy changes and my kids and my wife feel it because I'm present and I'm here with them and I'm participating, not passively, not by agreeing to whatever is going on, but those boring moments, you can transform them like I have into foundational rock pieces. All right. I want you to comment, I am the rock. I am the rock. If you've decided to commit to being consistent again, over being flashy, over being that submissive guy that maybe you've turned into and don't really want to acknowledge, but there's some sort of trigger in that for you. Now, if you're also ready to take the next step, I would love to have you along. I'd love to have you along. I would love for you to apply yourself. Now, what that does, let's see if your application, let's see if you're a great fit. We're a great fit. Go to thevaliantlifestyle.com and book that 30-minute call that you've been dying to do because you've been watching some of these videos. And if this is your first time, maybe you've decided in this part of your life that you want to do something, that you want to make the right steps. Let's do that now. thevaliantlifestyle.com and book that 30-minute call. Let's do this. Thanks for watching.